The only thing I want to see is progress. That's the thing that I want to see. And no injuries, which thankfully for that as well. By the way, Dave Canales actually did say post-game about, hey, how did you come out on the injury front? He said, normal bumps and bruises, but nothing that's going to impact us going into the next week for practice. I was like, good.
That's a good thing.
Great. Love to hear it.
I mean, yeah, you shouldn't even be taking it serious when you have people like Andy Dalton laughing when he trips over his own feet.
Yeah, you know what? Don't we all? Hey, I laugh when I trip over my own feet.
Oh, it's so real.
But real quick injury update. Damian Lewis actually in the joint practice on Wednesday last week with the Carolina Panthers, the offensive lineman. He did strain his shoulder. Dave Canales did say on Friday that he is week to week. So to be determined. Again, Chandler Zavala dealing with a patella tendon injury. So he is still week to week as well. So a little banged up at the interior offensive line position. By the way, Dave Canales today actually did announce Austin Corbett as the starting center. He was in a competition with Kay Mays. Kay Mays will back up at center, but Kay Mays also has plenty of experience playing guard as well. So, Kay Mays could also get a lot of reps playing at that spot as well, at the left guard, to help build, fill some of the holes that might be left there, at least in the short term, while guys are still coming back and getting healthy.
Yeah, that's cool. Him and Corbett have a good relationship, too.
They do. And I would have gone with Corbett as the starting center, and that's the decision that the coaching staff decided to make. But speaking of Friday's game, let's get into it. Let's take two here. Again, the final score of the game, 30-10. It does not matter that they lost, because let's keep in mind, need I remind people, back in 2008, the Detroit Lions went 4-0 in the preseason. 4-0. And then they went 0-16 in the regular season. The preseason results do not matter. We've actually seen a couple ties already in the preseason because they say, you know what, we're not going to overtime. We don't need to take any of these extra reps and maybe guys get. No, let's just call it what it is. Play 60 minutes of football and just be done with it. What the score is what the score is.
Yeah, and speaking of the Lions, prayers and thoughts for the guy who got injured, Norris.
Yes. Well,
stinks.
He was actually back at practice. Well, he wasn't practicing, but he was at the facility and stuff walking around.
Yeah, they did the concussion protocols.
Which is
that's
good
always
thing
good.
To see. Well, let's get to Friday for the Carolina Panthers. Some things that definitely stood out to me. We'll definitely look at the starting offense first. Bryce Young, in my mind, overall, I thought was accurate. He was on time. So much more comfortable than he did at the start of last season. And I said it back in June when I went to minicamp. I saw it, first practice training camp. Saw it at the Fan Fest as well. I said it feels like the offense and Bryce Young picked up really where they left off last season. And I thought overall Bryce had a good day. He was 4-6 completion. Now, one of those was a drop, like a true drop, I think, from Tepper and McMillan. Now, his only pass I felt was a little bit inaccurate was his first pass, actually. It was kind of a check down to Chuba Hubbard on an underneath route. They actually went 5 wide. They had 2 tight ends, actually, on the field, went 5 wide, which I actually was very excited to see that. But Chuba Hubbard was kind of coming on an underneath route. The throw was on his back shoulder. Didn't come up with a catch. It is what it is. But the starting offense got a touchdown on their second drive. I understand that the Cleveland Browns were playing their second unit. I totally get that, which is why you would hope that your offense would go out there and score on a scoring drive. Now, they did give up a sack on that first drive. JT Carter, who was filling in for the injured Damian Lewis and Chandler Zavala, so he really was like the third left guard, gave up a sack on a third down. But nonetheless, overall, I thought the offense was pretty good. Here's actually Dave Canales giving his assessment of the starting offense.
Yeah, I thought it was good to just kind of see, some of the matchups that we took advantage of. And, some guys made plays down the field. T-Mac made a nice play down the field. Jalen Coker comes in, when Xavier goes out and did a fantastic job. Like, we didn't skip a beat, made some great plays that way too. So I saw some good rhythm. And I think, the first drive, wasn't what we wanted, but it was good to just get the group out there, just working together, getting into the flow of the game, getting some good runs. Loved how hard Chuba ran, Rico ran, there was a good enough work there, and thinking about maybe getting him another series as we go into Houston, to just kind of feel the flow of the game and have to be out there, kind of work through things on the sideline.
So hopefully we actually do see that in Houston on Saturday. Maybe the offense getting a third drive out there. Come to the sideline after the first drive, make the adjustments, talk things over, go back out there for a second drive, same thing, come back, reassess, go back out there for a third drive. And maybe you're caught in maybe that third drive is, hey, we're going strictly 2-minute drill here. We're going 2-minute drill. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go out there with the mindset of a 2-minute drill just to get those live game reps against somebody else. But we actually heard the play-by-play coming into the start of the program about the Jalen Coker touchdown from Bryce Young. I loved the touchdown pass to Jalen Coker. Bryce brought some time with his legs, saw the field, directed traffic. He and Coker actually locked eyes. I actually remember asking Coker about this in the postgame, and he said, yeah, made a little eye contact. He kind of directed me where to go, but those two having played together and already having some just chemistry together, he knew exactly where Bryce Young wanted him to go, but also knew exactly where Bryce Young was going to throw the ball. He knew exactly the area in which he needed to sit and the time in which he needed to do it. We'll get into more on Jalen Coker here in just a little bit, but I loved that play overall. And also, big-time credit to Jalen Coker here. I know we're going to say more about Jalen Coker later. That later apparently is right now. Jalen Coker was in the game because of the Xavier Legette ejection. Because remember, Xavier Legette and the guy for the Cleveland Browns got into a fight, which,
yes.
It is what it is.
And if anybody remembers, this is the same guy that Chuba got in some scuffles with during
joint practice.
Yes.
Yeah, where he threw the football back at Chuba
Same
Hubbard
guy.
and all that kind of same dude.
Mm-hmm.
So there's history there. Xavier Legette threw a great block and was driving the guy back. Jenkins is his name. Was driving the guy back, and he took exception to it post-whistle, and the scuffle started, and Xavier Legette landed like a 3-piece combo. And sure enough, they got into a fight. He really was. I mean, Victoria, I think he scored this one 10-9.
I know.
Legette. But that's fine, and that's okay. And you know what? I appreciate the toughness from Legette. I really do. But It's one of those things as well, as Dave Canales said post-game, be smart. But you got to give Coker credit. He steps in. They don't miss a beat. They don't miss a beat. Now, the player on offense that a lot of people were anticipating seeing live reps for the first time was Tepper McMillan. And an up-and-down day. Truly an up-and-down day. Dave Canales, I actually asked him this post-game. I said, hey, what is your assessment of Tepper McMillan?
I thought it was really good. I thought he gave himself some good opportunities to win. I thought there was a ball got on him pretty quickly down there. Could have been the first touchdown. He got hung up a little, and that's red zone football in the NFL. It happens quickly. The window's closed, and the quarterbacks are going to put their back foot in the ground. Bryce delivered a great throw right there, and I think that's one that he'll be able to grow from. We had another opportunity on a slant and go where he and Andy just kind of didn't connect on it, but I thought he won. I thought he got on an edge, and I thought the throw was just a little bit high, but I like the speed of play. I love that he was able to give us an option there.
We saw the good and the bad. The good, that second drive, very first play, go route down the right sideline to T-Mac. Love it. That is what you wanted to see out of your first-round pick. The guy drafted 8th overall. That is what you wanted to see. A slant route on a second down, 13-yard pickup with a corner back playing off. Good route run, easy pitch and catch. That's what you want to see. Not just deep threats, but intermediate as well. Secure the catch. And I also like Carolina for the fact that they were throwing the ball on a second down play, like on early downs. I like the fact that they were actually not afraid to push the ball down the field a little bit on early downs. I liked that. Now, the bad was the drop. We heard Dave Canales talk about it. The bad was the drop in the end zone. It was such a good route, I thought, by McMillan. Put like a little 1-2 step on the corner. Corner wasn't solid. Is he going to break outside to the corner, to the flat? Is he going to cut inside? Had the corner on skates for a little bit. Gets to the inside. Well run route. As soon as the head whips around, the ball's right there, and it hits him dead in the hands. Dead in the hands. And this is something that he's going to have to learn, as you heard Dave Canales say as well, is that especially in the red zone, when the quarterback has his back foot planted into the ground at the end of his drop, the ball's coming out. And it's coming in fast because the windows are tight. Guys are bigger, faster, stronger in the NFL. I don't care, even if you played in the SEC, this is the NFL. This is even a higher level. I know he played in, the Big 12 with Arizona, but my point still remains. He has to anticipate that ball is going to be on top of him quick. And he's got to come up with that catch because he's going to be relied upon a bunch this season. There's the reason why he's out there running with the ones as a starter already as a rookie, as the 8th overall pick, because he does have that talent and all the physical tools. He just has to anticipate that ball getting there quicker. And that's something that, hey, guess what? This is why you have preseason games. This is why you have preseason games. Is so you can make these mistakes, learn from these mistakes, and grow from those mistakes. And hopefully Tepper and McMillan will do that as well. Again, I understand that Cleveland was running with their second unit. Totally get that. But it's still faster. It still is faster. You're not going up against like a Utah State anymore. Just not.
Yeah.
You're not playing against, New Mexico.
Work the nerves out now.
Get it all out now and learn from it. And people will point out, and I've said it as well. Remember Jamar Chase, the Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver? Preseason was dropping everything. Everyone's like, what? Well, this guy can't catch a cold. This guy couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. We use whatever analogy you wanted. And then sure enough, look what he is now. I'm not saying Tepper McMillan is going to be Jamar Chase. My point is simply this, is that even with young rookies, there still is a learning curve. No matter how high they're drafted, there is a learning curve. And this is part of the learning curve. But again, this is why you have preseason games. This is why you have them. Now, he got targeted 5 times, which I thought was great. I like the fact that he got, again, involved early. But you saw the flashes of it early. You saw the flashes of it early. And if he comes up with that touchdown catch, then guess what? The Jalen Coker play, it doesn't happen. And maybe we're not praising Jalen Coker as much. Maybe T-Mac did it on purpose just so Jalen Coker can get that play.
There you go.
I know,
we'll
spin zone
just
that.
like Xavier got in that fight just so he could come in.
Exactly. They all did it. They all did it for Coker. They all did it for Coker.
Looking out for Jalen.
Now, speaking of Bryce Young and Tepper McMillan, Bryce Young actually shared his thoughts on Tepper McMillan, not only his performance in the game, but his performance in training camp in the preseason as a whole.
We've been on it. He's done a great job throughout, from when he got here after draft day to all the way through the offseason, through training camp, of just making a concerted effort of making sure that we're communicating, we're on the same page. And really it's been all the receivers. They do a great job of not just running their route and then going back and putting their head down. And they want to know the why, know the how, know if there's something they can improve. And I'm the same way. As a QB room, I take pride in it. We all take pride in it, making sure we're communicating. Hey, is this what you want? Is this what I want? Whatever it may be, making sure we're on the same page. So seeing that from him and the whole receiving core, it's great to see.
I like overall what we saw from the offense. Overall, again, you're going against the Cleveland second-team defense. Totally get it. But you got a new week coming up. You want to have live reps against someone else. Also, keep in mind as well when it comes to the preseason in terms of grain of salt. No one's actually game planning. It's not like you sat there for the week and we're going to watch film on this team and, trying to learn their schemes and all that kind of stuff and their tendencies and what this guy does or can't do or whatever it might be. You're not game planning like that. It's literally just we're going to run out there, run our stuff, and we'll kind of adjust as the game goes along, but it's really just running your base stuff. So, again, there's no game planning from either side. So, again, take it all with a grain of salt.